Hello, everyone. I wanted to jump on here and share something with you that I have recently experienced and gone through, and kind of share what I learned from it and three important questions that I asked myself to be able to deal with the situation. So, my son is 4, and we were having issues with him potty training. Not peeing his pants, but the other. And being 4 years old, it was very frustrating that he kept having these issues. And we asked the doctor, we're like, okay, like what's going on? Like, is this normal? It doesn't feel normal. Why is he holding it? And I guess that they labeled him a holder, whatever that means. I guess that they hold it until they can't hold it anymore. So we had tried everything. We had tried the reward system. We had tried taking things away. Nothing was working, and it just kept continuing to happen. We would ask him, do you have to go? Nope, I don't have to go. Are you sure you don't have to go? Let's just try to sit on the toilet and let's just see what kind of happens. Nothing. And it became so frustrating. And eventually I started getting very mad at him because he kept having these accidents and I couldn't figure out what was going on, why he wouldn't do it. And then so my anger then was lashing out at him and just, why is this happening? Why do you keep doing this? I don't understand. You're 4 years old. Like, nobody else does this. Like, what is going on? And then I would feel really bad for yelling at him, and then he would start crying and nothing would get resolved except that I would apologize and clean his underwear, and then just in a couple of days later start the same thing. So a couple months ago, I was on a coaching call with my coach, Stacy. And I had told her, I was like, I am just beyond frustrated. I'm at my breaking point. I have tried everything to get this child to go to the bathroom on the toilet, and he just will not do it. And so she was like, okay, the reality is that yes, he is having accidents. Okay. So she's like, let me ask you this. The 3 questions. What worked? What didn't work? And what can we do differently? She's like, so how have you been handling the situation? I was like, I'm yelling at him. I am taking things out of his room. I am putting him in timeout. I am not letting him use his toys or his Kindle or the iPad, whatever it is. I've taken it all away. She's like, okay, well, how's that working out for you? So I was doing all of that and having the same result every time. Nothing was changing. So we were like, okay, let's try a different tactic. Let's just say if he has an accident, then you just say, okay, we clean it up, we move on. Because can you imagine if you were at a restaurant and you spilled water on the table and your friend just starts going, I can't believe you just did that. I am so embarrassed. You just made the biggest mess. How would you feel? Not very good, not very good. So my yelling at my son was not being productive at all. I was getting upset and I was getting so emotional, and it did not make me feel good on the inside because it would just bring my emotions up so high, and I was getting so frustrated and he was getting so upset. He was getting so sad. So nothing was coming out of it. Nothing was working. So I decided to change it. And instead of yelling, again, like I said, we would just change his underwear, clean up, whatever we were doing. And then I would ask him, do you know why you had this? No, I don't know. I didn't know I had to go. Okay, well, I don't believe that, but okay, baby steps. What can we do to help you? And he's like, my legs hurt when I sit on the toilet. Okay, so we got him a soft toilet seat. Helped a little bit when we were sitting on there, but still wasn't completely helping the issue. So we found another reward system. He's obsessed with Oreos. Probably not the best reward system, but at this point I was desperate to try anything. And I also stopped yelling, just very calmly handling the situation the way that I could. And when he did have an accident, which were becoming fewer and farther between, and he would have the accident, and I'd go in there, I'm like, okay, let's go to the bathroom and clean you up. And he's like, aren't you going to yell at me? And I'm like, nope, we're just going to clean it up and move on. And then once we had that, where every time he went to the bathroom on the toilet, then he got an Oreo. Beyond ecstatic. He loved it. like best thing in the world, an Oreo. I mean, who doesn't want an Oreo? So what I realized is that the tactic that I was using at the beginning did not work. So then what could I have done differently? So I tried different things until we found out what worked. So I feel like this is something that can be applied to anyone and in any kind of situation, whether it be with your kids, with your spouse, with work, personal, business, whatever it is. If there's something that you're struggling with and that you just keep getting frustrated with, just ask yourself, what worked, what didn't work, and what can I do differently? So that is how one of my personal situations benefited from asking myself these 3 questions. And I hope that if you come across a situation that you're struggling with or frustrated with, that you can ask yourself these 3 questions and they help. So anyway, thanks for joining. Have a good day.